long as we stand here, they are not fighting for democracy. They are fighting to rob and steal the mineral resources of DRC Congo. M23 is being armed by Uganda. M23 is being supported by the two brutal dictators of Uganda, Muwonge, and of Rwanda, Kagame. These murderers, they murdered over 3.5 million Africans in people power, our power, NUP, everywhere. The reason why Museveni should be hanged, this is a man who has committed crimes against humanity in Uganda. Not only in Uganda, but in Southern Sudan, DRC Congo. When you hear the genocide in Rwanda, Museveni is the man who supported, who armed the rebels, who went to kill 1.5 Rwandese. And that's why we are calling on, if ever Museveni is arrested, he should die like Gaddafi. At least, if he ever been arrested, let him go in jail. We are calling on again that will never stop demanding the accountability of our fellow comrades, of our fellow Ugandans who are in prison for a simple reason, standing against the brutal dictator of Uganda, Museveni. We are talking about the lethal, brutal dictator, Museveni of Uganda. A man who has used arms to silence Ugandans. A man who has used force to sit on millions of Ugandans. A man who has used force to silence democracy and the respect of human rights in Uganda. We will stand with the suffering Ugandans. We will stand as long as it goes on in order to expose the brutalities under this brutal dictator, Museveni of Uganda. We are calling on the UK to impose more sanctions against this brutal dictator, Museveni of Uganda. Yes. We are calling on the UK government to stop the funding, because we know that the money going to Uganda, that's taxpayers' money being pumped in Uganda with no accountability at all. That money should stay in our country here to help our policemen and to rehouse our brothers and sisters who are on the streets in the UK streets, who have got nowhere to live. That money should be used to rehouse them during the winter season we are facing right now. People power.
Our power.
Our power. NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
So, it's Thomas now. He came in late, so he owes us lunch, He's going to buy lunch for us.
I can't say Happy Valentine. No way can I say Happy Valentine. In Uganda, where I come from, we have no Valentine. They don't love us. The leader, the ruler, does not want Ugandans to live. And I'll start with the small domestics. We have to remember the dead. The current ruler has killed Ugandans for the last 40 years. As I talk here, we need to, at least 5 seconds, to remember our dead, our people in prison, those who are nursing wounds, those still jailed in prison, those who have gone missing and we've seen no chance of seeing them again for the last 6 years. He is killed everything. So for about 5 seconds, I'll pause and keep quiet while we remember the dead, those tortured, those still in the torture chamber, those who have gone missing, and a lot of them in prison. We still have over 100 prisoners, all from my party, which is the National Unity Platform. And this party is one of the biggest parties, yet we are being oppressed. The ruler in Uganda has been in power for 40 years. UK has changed leadership, prime ministers 12 times. United States is changing another one, Mr. Tariffs. I think you call him Trump. He's the 12th president being changed. Uganda will still have one. Mr. Tariff will go, and we don't think you should go with him. So, in remembrance of our dead, the people in the torture chamber, the people who have been gone missing, the junta in Uganda, what you see behind me here is called an embassy, should have been an embassy of Uganda, but it's a crime scene. It facilitates our murder. It makes sure the embezzlement of funds from Uganda go through Lord Puppet in the parliament via this embassy. Lord Puppet is of Asian background. Somebody sitting in this embassy is of the same background. And these are the people who have done a syndicate. UK aid goes to nothing. It should stay here and help the taxpayers here. That money, we don't want it in Uganda. Uganda is mineral wealth. Uganda was the 3rd coffee biggest country. Now we are the 10th. Uganda had cotton. Uganda had tea. Uganda had tobacco. Now it's Z. When he came into power, Uganda, just like any African country, the leadership there, the junta there, diminished everything. What we have left, it's the only country on record that doesn't have factories, doesn't have industries. What we have today, if you don't know, are packaging factories. He came to power 40 years ago. We had industries left over from the British colonial rule. We don't have anything. So, I will tell you one thing. Don't give Uganda money. It goes back to UK here via the embassy you see behind me here, to Lord Puppet, and then to the community in Leicester. They have swindled so much money that Ugandans are fed up. We don't want aid. We want change of leadership. And the best intervention we want from you, stop funding the dictator. Once you stop funding the dictator, we will sort him out. We are well-resourced. We are well-resourced, I repeat. People power. Power, power. People power. NUP. Everywhere. Kunga Bobiwine. Kunga Chagulanyi. Kunga Uganda. Kunga Bobiwine. Kunga NUP. NUP. Everywhere. People power. Now, what you don't know, the leader, the ruler in Uganda, who has stayed in power for 40 years, the people who cushion his long stay and finance him is the UK government. And they finance our imprisonment. They fund our killing. They fund our murder. You've paid dearly for our murder. The taxpayers' money should stay in UK. We don't want it in Uganda. We are well resourced. Uganda has an agricultural potential. It has a tourism potential. These people in power, the rulers, the juntas in Uganda, have medical tourism, education tourism. Recently, they have shopping tourism. They don't shop in Uganda, they shop here. So, UK, we're not asking too much. All we want is to stop funding him. We can take him on. We are well resourced. We have the finances. We have the new human resources. When I speak of human resources, I don't mean in Puga. People power. Our power. Everywhere. NUP. Now, I'll just put you into context. Uganda has what they refer to as national IDs. It took $500 million to make a few IDs. And the rest, the 6 countries in East Africa, spent $200 million. You can see how much he's embezzled the money. So when UK gives us grants, aids, it all ends back here. That money doesn't go to the very needy. And what's meant to be for the needy ends up in the junta's hand. Him, his wife, his son, his brother. So if you stop funding, they will never have the resources to torture us. So we beg UK government to stop funding the dictator. Mr. Tariff is trying what I don't know what he's trying. But UK are the main partners and you are colonizers. The same guy, the ruler of Uganda, who has been in power for 40 years, has ruled Uganda. When he came to Uganda, Uganda had a forest cover of 40%. Today we have 10%. What an environmental degradation. I'm an environmentalist, I'm a scientist, I'm an engineer. I know what ecosystem means. He's degraded it so much. I've lived in UK and worked here. And I'm well qualified to speak about environment. So this is the guy who's polluted the rivers. He imports Chinese to come and suck everything from the river. We don't need the Chinese to mine our sand. We don't need them to cut down our forests. We don't need them to be doing menial jobs, street cleaning. We can do this. He is robbed the Uganda flat to the bare skin. And what we want now is to get him out of power. But so long as you still fund the dictator in Uganda, we can't push him. Stop the aid, stop the grants. Use it here for the taxpayers. It would look better things here in UK than giving the junta that money. We want you to stop funding the dictator. I repeat, stop funding the dictator. NUP, everywhere. People power. Thank you very much.
The so-called Ambassador Patel, I think you can hear the words from Ugandans outside your so-called chamber of torture. This is the so-called Uganda House, is a representative of repression in Uganda. Normally it's supposed to be an ambassador looking after Ugandans in the UK, but it's the other way around. It's a representative of torture in Uganda, a symbol of murder in Uganda, a symbol of rape in Uganda, a symbol of kidnapping in Uganda. When we talk about accountability, we are talking about the 1 billion which is being sent from the UK to Uganda. And on that money, you get like 6 million, which goes to the LGBT community. We need accountability for that money. We need to know how Museveni has spent £6 million of the LGBT community in Uganda, who is in charge of that department, where that money has been used and who has been spending that money. We need to know where that money has been used, on which products, hospitals, funding has that money gone. He has been denying that he doesn't receive that money. Museveni has been denying for the last 20 years that he doesn't receive 6 million grant to help our brothers and sisters in Uganda, the LGBT community. We are standing here today for accountability. We are standing here today to ask the brutal dictator, the £1 billion times 42 years in power, that is 42 billion. But in Uganda, we don't have working hospital in Uganda. For the last 40 years, the UK is sending 1 billion every year. Multiply that by 42. That is 42 billions. We are asking the UK government to not send our money to Uganda. Let that money stay in the UK and help our police, help the homeless, turn for winter. We have our brothers and sisters sleep in the streets in London while our money is being pumped in Uganda to prolong the brutal dictator Museveni, to be used in buying expired tear gas, to be used in the building of the death torture chambers where men and women are being tortured to death. We are counting on the UK government not to send any more money, any more aid, any more grant to Uganda, because that money is going down the drain. That money is going to Uganda with no accountability. And the brutal dictator, instead of building schools, instead of building hospitals, is arming himself so that he can die in power. You're talking about a brutal dictator who has been in power for over 40 years. In the UK, we've changed 13 prime ministers. In America, 12 presidents have changed. In Uganda, we are still living under the same brutal dictator. Imagine, that cannot be democracy. That cannot be human rights. We are talking about the rights of women and men in Uganda. We've been denied our rights under this brutal dictator. We've been denied education under this brutal dictator. Ugandans cannot afford a £1 paracetamol under this brutal dictator. Ugandans cannot afford a £1 meal a day under this brutal dictator, Museveni of Uganda. People power. Our power. Our power. People power. It's a good day today, a Valentine's Day, but Ugandans are not buying flowers for their wives and girlfriends. As long as the brutal dictator Museveni is in power. This is not a joke. We are standing the cause, not because we won, but we are representing 47 million suffering Ugandans under this brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda. That's why we are here. And we will carry on. We will stand as long as we are alive. We will stand as long as we can breathe. But we are here for a cause. Because of the brutal dictator of Uganda, Museveni. Our brothers in Uganda have been sodomized under this brutal regime. Our sisters in Uganda are being raped by the brutal thugs in Uganda. We are here to expose the atrocities, the human rights abuse in Uganda. People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere. We are calling on the so-called ambassador of Uganda to the UK to stand with Ugandans in removing the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda. This is not only a brutal dictator for Uganda, but for Africa. As we stand today, Museveni is funding M23 in Congo for the simple reason they are robbing DRC Congo of their natural resources. And when I talk about natural resources, I mean diamond and gold, including timber and cassiterite, a mineral used in iPhone and our computers. And Museveni is the main funder to M23 with his brother Kagame of Rwanda. They've taken DRC Congo as their own backyard just because of the minerals in Congo. We condemn it. Museveni is in Southern Sudan because of oil in Southern Sudan. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
We are calling on the UK government to stop the training of the military thugs from Uganda. These are rapists. These are murderers. These are murderers. They shouldn't be in our country here. They shouldn't be trained by the UK. They shouldn't be funded by the UK. They should be imprisoned by the UK because they are criminals. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP. Everywhere. We are standing here. We want to make it clear that our money from the UK should not be sent to Uganda. As long as human rights and democracy is not being respected in Uganda, our taxpayers' money should not be sent to Uganda. By sending that money to Uganda, you are conniving with the brutal dictator in raping Ugandans, in murdering Ugandans, in kidnapping Ugandans. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
We call on the ambassador, Mrs. Patel. You left Uganda. Time of Idi Amin. You ran away for your life and your family. Now you are serving the brutal dictator. Now you are serving the same brutal dictator you ran away from. We are calling on you. Stop the double standard and stand with Ugandans and get democracy in Uganda. Serving Museveni will not save you. We are calling on you that when change comes to Uganda, all of you are going to be sent to Luzira prison. You can carry on building more prisons than schools in Uganda. You can carry on building prisons and death torture chambers and hospitals. But when the time comes, it's the same prison we are going to send you to. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
The brutal dictator, he has heavily invested in his military. But in Uganda, we don't have working ambulances. When you go down the road, St. Thomas Hospital, they have more than 100 ambulances. In Uganda, a population of 47 million, we've got only 10 working ambulances. But ask yourself, the UK government is sending £1 billion every year to Uganda. Where that money goes? The brutal dictator of Uganda is the richest brutal dictator in Africa. He has accumulated 13.5 billion pounds, which is your taxpayers' money and my taxpayers' money. That is how fight goes, that you are funding the richest brutal dictator in Uganda. This is your money. That is my money. That money is supposed to go and help the homeless in the UK. That money is supposed to go to help our policemen. That money is supposed to go to help our ex-army who are suffering the streets in London. People power. Our power. When we say this, they say we are racist. When we say our money should not go to Uganda, they say we are wrong. But the money has got no accountability. The money is being used in Uganda. The money which goes to Uganda has got no accountability at all. £1 billion every year. For the last 42 years, the brutal dictator has been receiving $1 billion each year. But in Uganda, we don't have no working hospitals. In Uganda, we don't have no schools. Why our money is being wasted to Uganda?
Oh,
People power. Our power.
People power.
NUP. Everywhere. Thank you.
Tulina kunyonya bavubuka kati. Oba ebino byaffe tulina okwebeereramu.
People power. Our power. Whoa, Twina dictator Uganda. This man has made it clear he hates Ugandans. He's working for his family. And the UK is pumping money to this man to dismantle anything working in the Great Lakes region. He's now killing the Congolese. And everyone is keeping quiet. You see, in Africa, no one should care. We are saying, we bring it to the streets of London. We are at Uganda House. The ambassador go and tell your president, he hates Ugandans. He's a general who has never killed a rat from China. Last time I heard, there were airplanes, spy airplanes in Uganda. He never even raised a shot. And that's a general. But when it comes to Ugandans, he kills them like the rats. We are telling you, Ambassador, go and tell your president, you should leave Ugandans alone. We know he hates him, he hates Ugandans, he loves his family. We're telling him, Ugandans don't want you now, go to your family. We don't want you, go to your family, because you don't want Ugandans. You don't have love for Ugandans. If you don't have that love, Ugandans are saying, go and love your family, leave everything for Ugandans, they will sort it out. And here we are, Ugandans. If this man is not listening to his ambassador, we tell him today to inform him to go to his family. Let us unite. Let us organize. Ugandans united. Tomorrow, today, we can send this man to his family. Because he doesn't have us at heart. He hates Ugandans. He has killed Ugandans since he was a young man. He has killed people in Uganda. All the generals he has promoted, they are killing Ugandans. He has never had even a small rat, even a mosquito. From Kenya, he has never killed it. But he can pick Ugandans from Kenya and he locks them. This is a man who has abused Ugandans. He's now abusing Congolese. He's now abusing, he has abused the people in Rwanda. He has abused the people in Somalia. And the British Popat is saying that's good work done. Popat, go to hell. You have made Ugandans die for no reason. Popat, you are the cause we are here. You have supported this Museveni all your life. And he has made Uganda worse for us. We are here because of you. Lord, the same time, clean yourself. You are part of the ring, helping Museveni to kill Ugandans, to hopeless Ugandans. We know he loves his family. Better support him to go to his family. We don't need him in our state house. Please, Ambassador, go and tell your president, we don't want him in the State House. He should go to his house. We will get him all the generals he has promoted for killing us. He can go with them. We don't need them. So long as he's still there, Ugandans, our duty is to unite, get it together, let us get organized, and send this man to his house. We are fed up of him being in the State House. UK government, you should not send money to empower this man. Property is lying. He's deceiving. And he's robbing or fraud. He's getting this money to send to this Great Lakes region on false pretense. We should be prosecuted. And we have good lawyers. I don't know why they don't do that. Property, you should go to hell. Museveni, go to your family. Ugandans are fed up of your killing. We cannot afford getting more sodomized. We cannot stand seeing our brothers and sisters in your prisons. The city is about to die in prison. Because you want Uganda, you want to hopeless Ugandans. We have so many people. Of recent, you killed Segirinya. You poisoned him. We cannot stand your murderous track. God Papa, you are the cause, and Robbie Sentamu, you are the one pestering the UK government to continue funding this horrible man. He doesn't love the people in Uganda, and you are conniving with him. You are training the boys he brings here to go and kill Ugandans. You know it well. They don't love Ugandans. They are just killing them, and you train them at Sandhurst. The last time his son was in Sandhurst, what he did to Kakwenza, you are laughing. It is fun for you, but Kakwenza should be crying. As of now, he's traumatized. Please, the UK, stop funding, stop training. Even Europe, stop funding, stop training Museveni's boys. They are not doing good work unless they are doing good work for your interests. But we are saying your interest is a big, big burden because we are losing brothers and sisters. They are being sodomized, they are being raped, they are being put in prison. Others are dead, others have disappeared. We don't know whether we'll ever see them. As we are searching, as we are organizing, you can give us a day and stop funding Museveni and his boys. Thank you very much. People power. Our power. Our power. People power. Everywhere. Thank you.
Good evening. We are from Uganda, and we are Ugandans. Most of us born in Uganda, but the others are born in UK. We are here to not celebrate Valentine, because Valentine never makes sense in Uganda. Valentine, in the essence of the French, means love. There is no love. What we experience in Uganda is highway robbery of the highest order. What has been happening in the last 40 years is what I could call negative development. How can you build more prisons than schools? How can you build more detention camps than hospitals? In Uganda, even a doctor putting on a surgical glove is a benefit. It's for the privileged. That's how low we've sunk. Nobody from the government of the junta gets any medical treatment in Uganda, they all come abroad because of medical tourism. You facilitate their coming here and they're treated in first class hospitals. Yet, most of the Ugandans dwell in shanks in hospitals which are worse than a doghouse in UK. This is why we are here. We want you to stop sending aid or money to Uganda. That money could be best used here for taxpayers than send it to Uganda. There is a lot lacking here. Good housing, good roads. That money can be used here better than. I hear Mr. Tariff is going to stop ministers from Africa going for medical tourism in the United States. Take a leaf and also stop the junta going for treatment in the United States. If he can't build hospitals in Uganda, then let him stay and park and die. One thing stand, the junta in Uganda, be warned. You've made our constitution silly. One day you changed and took away term limits. So you are staying an unlimited term. In good mathematics, you are staying to infinite. And then you took away term limits. And then you took away the age limit. What you will not change is the death limit. It's coming and it's coming fast. Whoever saw you in Tanzania, saw you facing a death certificate, that one you will never postpone it. It's coming and it's coming for you. You will never extend death. Junta in Uganda, Museveni, you have postponed a lot of things. You've stayed in Uganda for 40 years. Most of the people behind me here were born, have grown up, they have children. They have never seen any other president than that old shank of a man. And he's still talking, he's still ruling. He has won the selections, which you prefer to call elections, 6 times. He's saying he's going to win them the 7th time. And this is a man, would you accommodate a president ruling you for 40 years in Britain? You've changed leadership 13 times in the UK, leave alone Truss, Lisa, the lady who stayed for only 2 weeks. Liz Truss. So, please, UK, we ask you one thing. Stop funding the dictator. The dictator in Uganda has ruled Uganda and ruined, not only ruled, but ruined Uganda. He should go back wherever he comes from. But we are sure he has a death certificate in his palms. He will never postpone that one. He's murdered. He's killed us. The embassy you see here behind me is a crime scene. It facilitates our murder. It makes sure it kills us. It kills us in exile. And it works round the clock to make sure they swindle all the British aid that goes to Uganda. The money goes through this crime scene behind me. The embassy you see behind me here. The money comes back, goes through Lord Sentamu, the third, the fake bishop. It goes through Lord Puppet. Then it goes to Leicester. The same money. And when you give money, he calls you darlings, development partners. When you don't give money, then you are colonialists and imperialists. Can't you read this? UK, wake up. When you are giving money to this junta, that's when you become partners, development partners. When you don't give money, then you become colonialists and imperialists. If he thinks he's Pan-Africanist, why doesn't he go and borrow from Nigeria? Why doesn't he go to South Africa and they fund the programs? He runs to UK. That's where the money is. And you still fund him. The money you gave him, he steals it. He's worth $13 billion. And you're still funding the junta. He's the richest man in Africa. He's got a lot of money, owns a lot of property. And you that money is enough to make good development schemes in Uganda. We don't need aid as I talk. We need to get the junta out. The rest we can deal with. Aid is a cancer. It makes the African rulers not want to do anything because you keep giving them aid. I don't know what Mr. Trump is saying, but all I understand, don't give them money, and I agree with him. Yeah. Don't give the dictators money, they will have to work hard. Uganda is an agricultural-based country. We were third in coffee producing. We had industries before the junta came. 40 years down the line, the only industries that were there have gone to ashes. The factories that produced have gone to ashes. What do we have? Packaging factories. A lot of Chinese. What do? Fake jobs. What do? Sell fake items. What do they sell? A lot of bribery. They swindle. They do a lot of false things. And we still think these are partners. They are not. And then the aid they give back is swindled back via China to UK. Now, UK, I believe you are better presented not to fund the dictator. Stop the money going to Uganda because you fund our murder, you fund our crimes, you fund the disappearance of Ugandans, you fund him with weapons that kill us, you put the guns in his hands, you give him the boots, you give him the army uniforms, you give him the cars, and you give him the armored cars that kill us. What aid is that? And then you, worst of all, you train the officers, the army officers that kill us. NUP, everywhere, everywhere, NUP, Kunga, Uganda, Kunga, Bobiwine, Kunga, Noob. Thank you for listening.
People power. Our power. We going to say and say and say. It's all the money going down to Uganda with no accountability. That money should stay in the UK to help our local policemen to rehouse our brothers and sisters who are sleeping in the streets of London. Then this money being taken to Uganda, and in return, the UK becomes a partner in crime. What do I mean by this? When the money is sent to Uganda in good faith, the brutal dictator recycles this money. He got to buy arms, he got to buy expired tear gas, he's building prisons, he's building death torture chambers where men and women are being murdered, where men and women are being raped, men are being sodomized, women are being raped by the money which is being sent to Uganda. That's why today we are calling on the UK government to stop the funding, to stop sending your taxpayers' money and my money down to Uganda. That money has got no accountability. We are talking about a brutal dictator, Museveni of Uganda. We are standing at a crime scene. In the UK, this would be a crime scene. For us, we call it a death chamber. This is a representative of repression, of torture, of murder, of rape in Uganda. The so-called Uganda High Commission. We are talking about the ambassador who ran away from Idi Amin 45 years back, and is the same ambassador supporting the worst brutal dictator in Africa by the name of Museveni. 40 years in power cannot be democracy. 40 years in power cannot support the rule of change, cannot support that is human rights.
Africa is good.
Africa. Romania. What we are calling here is we need change in Uganda. We need a good leadership in Uganda. Uganda is suffering from leadership and corruption. We are talking a country embedded in corruption. The president of Uganda, the wife is the Minister of Education. The president in Uganda, the finance minister, is his brother, Salim Saleh. The president in Uganda, the commander of the special forces, is his son, General Muwonge. So you can see the impunity and nepotism in Uganda. That's why we stand here today on this beautiful day, Friday, and for the new lovers, it's a Valentine's Day. I wish you a nice Valentine's Day. But in Uganda, we haven't seen Valentine's Day yet. Until the brutal dictator Museveni is out of power, that is when we'll be free. That is when we'll celebrate that Uganda is free from this brutal dictator. Time of Idi Amin, they say Idi Amin killed over 50,000 people. Now you cannot compare this brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda and Idi Amin. Idi Amin now is a saint when you are comparing the two. Idi Amin is a holy man when you compare Museveni and Idi Amin. But he was also a brutal dictator. Museveni has killed over 1.5 million Rwandese. Museveni has killed over 2.5 million Congolese. Museveni has killed 2 million Ugandans. Is that a brutal dictator?
Yay!
He is a brutal dictator. And the reason why we are here today, we are asking the government of the UK to stop the funding and the training of the military thugs from Uganda, because they are being trained to go back and rape our brothers, sodomize our brothers, rape our mothers, rape our sisters, murder Ugandans. That's why we are here today. Today the world is accountability. The money you are sending to Uganda is funding our torture, is funding our rape, is funding our sodomization in Uganda. That's why we are calling the UK government to stop the funding, the £1 billion sent to Uganda every year should stay in our country, the UK, and help the homeless and our police. That money shouldn't be sent to Uganda. It's going down the drain because it's the money sent to Uganda with no accountability. Our policemen, they need this money. They're not being paid a good wage. £1 billion is being sent to Uganda and is being wasted by the brutal dictator of Uganda, Museveni. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Our policemen in this country, they do such a great job, but they're not well paid. That money being sent to Uganda should go to our policemen who are keeping London safe. Our policemen who keep us safe when we stand in a demonstration. Unless in Uganda, it's a big crime to stand and demonstrate. When you are demanding your rights in Uganda, it's a crime. But we are lucky that in the UK, we are allowed to assemble and express our concerns. And our concerns today, in this beautiful weather, is democracy, human rights, corruption, and accountability in Uganda. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Ugandans in the UK will never celebrate any day.
No.
Even today, Valentine is the past. We are here. We are fighting for the cause of the 47 million suffering Ugandans who cannot stand and buy flowers for their loved ones because of Museveni. We don't have no working hospitals in Uganda because of Museveni. We don't have working roads in Uganda. It's because of Museveni. The highest corruption level in Uganda. Recently, a scandal about Bank of Uganda. The money being sent to Japan This was 17.5 million. Museveni and his family, they transferred this money to Japan. Because Bank of Uganda has been running for the last 3 years in the State House. State House has been running Bank of Uganda. And when they were exposed recently by the World Bank, sanctioning them that they won't get no more grants and loans, now he has appointed Elamdak as the central governor of Bank of Uganda. We are standing here and demanding our money should not be sent to Uganda. Our taxpayers' money should not be sent to Uganda without accountability. That money should not be sent to Uganda. That money should stay here. Our taxpayers' money should stay here. It shouldn't be sent to Uganda. Under this brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
In the UK, we've changed 13 prime minister.
Yes.
In America, they've changed 11 presidents.
Yes.
In Uganda, we live under the same brutal dictator for the last 40 years.
Yes.
That cannot be democracy.
Yes.
And the UK should stop supporting such a brutal dictator.
Yes.
The UK should stop the training of military thugs from
Yes.
Uganda. By supporting and training military thugs from Uganda, you are conniving with the brutal dictator in raping. You are partner in raping of Ugandans. You are partner in torturing Ugandans. You are partner in corruption in Uganda. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
I want to send this special thanks to the community in front of me for coming out today.
Wow.
In such a weather. It's a Friday, a lovely day, sunny, Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
But we are not going to celebrate. Would like to be like the couple in front of me, holding my along. But with Museveni today, we are here.
Yes.
With Museveni today, we cannot have time off with
No.
demonstration.
No.
We've left our jobs today. We've left our offices today to be here to highlight the human rights abuses in Uganda
yeah.
under this brutal dictator of Uganda, Museveni.
Yes.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mulongo.
Blessing.
Chikube, 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 chikube. Labisa, labisa, labisa. Labisa. Hello, hello. Hello, love. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it's really, really cold. But we will never, ever
Leave cheer.
until we get the freedom.
Yes.
Until we get the liberate in Uganda.
Yes.
We need the liberation
Yes.
in Uganda.
Yes.
We need peace in Uganda.
Yes.
We need happiness.
In
We
Uganda.
need every single happiness in Uganda.
Right.
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Are suffering under the
Dictator
dictator
Museveni. Yes.
with his son Muwonge.
Yes.
But
Look
as
at this
Ugandans,
young
we
boy.
stand here
He's in
today.
prison now.
Behind us,
Young
this is
boy.
called the Ugandan house. But when you look at it, you might think, oh, it is a nice place to visit in Uganda.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's the saddest country to visit for now.
The Pearl of
Because people are
Africa.
dying on the street.
no matter what color you are, they will kill you, and they are not going to be having no excuses.
Yes.
No investigation.
No.
So, if you visit Uganda, take a risk. Take a risk to visit Uganda. Uganda is not safe.
No.
You can die, they
Yeah.
can kill you,
Yes.
and no one will know what killed you in Uganda.
No.
No evidence.
No.
No investigation.
No.
Your family will be looking for you, but no answers.
No.
Visit Uganda on your own.
Yeah.
Take the risk to visit Uganda on your own.
Yes.
Uganda is not a safe country
No.
because of the dictator Museveni
Yes.
and Muwonge.
Yes.
But all this pain, who is causing it? British.
Yes.
Britain stop funding the
Dictator.
dictator Museveni.
Yes.
Stop funding the
Dictator.
Ugandans. Because at the end of the day, the money you're funding to Uganda,
Yeah.
the money you're sending to Uganda, at the end of the day, the money you're sending to Uganda,
Yeah.
it doesn't reach Ugandans.
No.
We don't see where this money is being taken to. We don't have no hospitals.
No.
We don't have no medicine.
Yeah.
Our mothers are dying while giving birth.
Yes.
No good environment in Uganda.
No.
When you look on the streets of Uganda, you're gonna find rubbish
Yes.
everywhere.
Yes.
The money is being sent to Museveni to do every single thing.
Yeah.
And now we need the accountability.
Yes.
We need
No.
the accountability
Yeah.
of the homosexuals.
Yes.
We need accountability from the dictator Museveni from about the homosexuals.
Yes.
Where is all this money gone?
Uh-huh.
What does he use this money for?
Rich.
We need the
Accountability.
accountability
Yes.
that is being sent to Uganda for the homosexuals.
LGC.
Where
Yeah.
is the money being taken to? What does Museveni use this money to?
Uh-huh.
We need the accountability.
Yes.
He's being quiet.
Yes.
Since they asked him, he's quiet. He doesn't have no answers to give.
Yes.
As Ugandans,
Mhm.
we need
Accountability.
the accountability
Yes.
of homosexuals.
Yes.
Because we don't see where this money had gone. Because
Yeah.
Ugandans are not using it for nothing. And he just keeps on getting money, claiming the money, filling up his pockets
Yeah.
for just his family. Where is all this money going?
Where?
What does it do? Where we don't have no medicine in hospitals, no proper hospitals,
Yeah.
no schools,
No.
the roads are just full of rubbish. Where is the
Imagine.
money gone?
Imagine. Lot of money.
Britain, what are you funding?
Uh-huh.
Britain, what are you funding? You're sending money to Uganda, but you're sending it to Uganda to do what?
Uh-huh.
If
Tell
we were
us.
receiving this money, if we were seeing what this money is going,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be here in this cold.
Yeah.
Asking you to stop funding Uganda.
Yes.
We wouldn't be standing here in this kind of weather, leaving our jobs, leaving our children, leaving every possible thing to come here to ask you. You're funding Uganda, but what are you funding Uganda for?
What?
Because we're not seeing the money where it's going.
No. And you
You're
continue
sending
sending.
money to Uganda, millions and millions.
Is
pounds and
doing
pounds.
nothing. You don't ask
Taxpayers'
accountability.
money all the time.
Yeah.
You're sending it to Uganda. You're sending it to Museveni and his family. You're funding Uganda for what?
For
Because
what?
You're not seeing where the money is going to.
No.
It's really, really sad that Britain has sacrificed Ugandans
Yes!
shed blood. on
Hypocrites!
All
Hypocrites!
you're buying, all this money you're selling to Uganda is just killing Uganda. It's just to buy guns, tear gas, and whatever. But it's not helping the Ugandans whatsoever. Apart from buying tear gas, killing the Ugandans on the streets, shedding blood.
Hello?
And in Britain, you just keep on sending money again and again and again. We're asking you to stop. Put a stop to it.
Why?
Stop funding Uganda. Britain, stop funding Uganda. Until Ugandans be satisfied and we see where this money you're funding to Uganda, that where it goes, that is when you start funding Uganda again. But for now, we asking you. His wife, his brothers, and his children, and his grandchildren. That is not all you
kyokka kati abantu kati balema okuyita wano n'abeera n'aweereza omuntu e Uganda ssente ne bamukolera ne bakaweereza naye mukama
nebamala ne bagamba claiming eyo mu revenue okutiza sente
funding Museveni. Under the money you're sending to Museveni. Are you happy to see Africans every day dying? Are you happy for Ugandans to see us into your country? We appreciate you of accepting us into your country. It's really a beautiful country. But we have our own country. We would love to go back to our country.
Oh, power, people, power.
Running into your country because you keep on
Benanga abagala kachai,
killing our
wali
children.
wagule on my bill.
We don't have no happiness.
Chai,
We still
coffee,
Britain.
coffee tea.
What do you want from Africa?
Coffee tea
Whatever you
over
want
there
in Africa, that is
on my bill.
Don't
Sorry.
dictators around
Please,
Africa. What is dictators? They are killing the non-Africans.
Say that wali kubundi.
Africans are suffering. Africans are crying.
Nyingi. Empewo omma webekusinga ogenda wali okufuna akakofi oba kati.
And that money you're sending to Uganda is our
If you want
tax money.
tea, coffee
It's
on
our
my
tax
bill.
money.
Over there,
Everyone
you
is
go
working for
there.
it.
I'd get cup tea or cup
And instead
coffee.
of these British people enjoying their tax money, you just send it to Africa to
No,
kill
you
people.
can. Oh, then come back with it.
Why are you letting the Africans to suffer and shed
Just go
blood?
there. Then
Yeah, you
say,
ask.
you say,
Oh, I'm going to.
Mama.
And let Africans be.
Kato said.
Yeah. Kato said.
Yeah.
Leave Africans alone.
Because he's sending me also to
We
get.
have
I'm
all
going
the
to get
sources in
also.
Africa. We might not even need your help.
Abagala kachai,
We don't need
coffee.
your help.
Kato agenda
You're
kati
making
bill.
us to be slavery. You're making us
That's
to
all,
be
Jagenda
asylum
wali
seekers
osa-
in your
osabi.
country. Why you're the one making us to suffer in our country? Our grandfathers made all possible, everything possible for us.
Wali waggulu. Abagala kakofi kachai.
Grandfathers
Nga tugendako wali nga tukafuna obunyogovu
for
bungi.
us to be okay.
Wali.
But Britain, you come from nowhere
good.
to make Africa suffer. Under money. We don't need your money. We need you to leave Uganda alone. Leave Africans alone.
Faith wuli
We
ayagala
have all our
kwamuka.
sources. We can take care of ourselves. We're tired of you making Africans
know.
to look like slavery, to look like asylum seekers. We're not asylum seekers.
Moja
You're the one who's
kutaka
forcing us to come into
Tea.
this kind of cold weather.
tea coffee, tea
We have
coffee.
a beautiful weather in our country.
Don't take all, take bit by bit so that
Yeah, one by one. Kwako kwatogende.
We have a beautiful sunshine. And we can see all of you. You travel to Africa for war. Why can't you stay in your country? Stay in your country. Why are you coming to our country? We're very disappointed in you. You're allowing us like you're pretending like you're giving us favors. You're not giving us favor to come into your country. You're allowing us to come into your country because you know you're stealing our minerals back home. We need accountability. You yourselves. Britain, we need your accountability. Why you're taking our sources. We need accountabilities. All over Britain. Show us why you're taking our minerals. We're tired of you. And tomorrow you will come and ask Africans, go back to your country. We're going back to our country to do what?
Kubawo nnyo.
Museum. Go to everything. All those things you're having, where are they coming from? Are they not coming from Africa? All the things you're having, all the museum stuff you're having, they're coming from Africa. No. These people, they need, Britain, we need accountability. Stop funding the dictators.
Kwata kino.
If you need to help us in a good way.
Waliwo ekanya nti ku Valentine. Waliwo agala kusigala wako.
You're making us to suffer and to die, shed blood on the streets. You're funding the dictators to buy guns, to buy tear gas, to kill us for war. And they are buying all these tear gas guns from you lords. You're the one who's funding the money. You're the one who's selling the guns to the dictator. You're the one who's selling the tear gas to the dictator to kill the Africans. We're tired of seeing our people dying for no good reason. People are crying. Nations are crying to you. Britain, sort yourselves out. We're tired.
Uganda.
I'm all with you.
Every single day we will see different people doing demonstrations, calling
saying
Britain
we
to
should
stop.
stop aid. Aid never goes to anything. The money should be used here more better. It's just encouraging.
Stop funding the country. Stop funding the dictators
Exactly.
around the whole world. We're tired of
He's
the
called
dictators.
Museveni. He's been there for
You
40
can
years.
see what is happening
All
in
your
our
working
country,
life.
and you're just quiet. You're just
And-
quiet. Where is the liberation? Where is the liberation? Museveni, we're tired of you. Muhoozi, we're tired of you. Museveni, you must resign. Museveni must resign.
Mpeke zange za family plan.
2026, Britain, tell Museveni we don't need him no more. Ugandans, we don't need Museveni 2026. We need our victory. We need change. Britain, we need change. 2026 is coming. Ugandans are going to do their election, but we tried to Museveni. Stop funding Museveni. Museveni must go. Museveni must go. Uganda, we need peace. Ugandans, we need peace.
Yes, we need peace.
Okay, then I'll come.
We need peace and freedom.
Yes.
We need Uganda back. We
Yes.
need our country back.
Yes.
We tired of killing, of dying.
Yes.
We tired of poverty.
Yes.
We tired of suffering.
Yes.
We tired of begging for citizenship.
Yes.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Everywhere.
NUP.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Yabadira.
Yeah. Yes. Afai. Webale nyo. Thank you very much. On this blessed day of Friday. But I hope the couples are enjoying the Valentine's Day in front of us. We as Ugandans today, we are not celebrating Valentine. Because back home in Uganda, people are being murdered as we stand here. Women are being raped as we are talking. Men are being sodomized as we are standing here. This is real. This is happening. Big boy. This is happening. And we need to expose it. We need to expose this, that Uganda and Ugandans are not safe under this brutal dictator, Museveni of Uganda. We have to be here, not because we want to be here, but we have to be here because of our brothers and sisters back in Uganda who are being murdered, who are being raped, who are being tortured, who are being kidnapped on daily basis. That's why we are in this beautiful weather today. Regardless of being freezing, we are here standing in front of the representative of repression in Uganda. The representative of the death torture chambers in Uganda. The representative of murder and rape in Uganda. The representative of dictatorship in Uganda for the last 40 years. Museveni of Uganda. We are calling on the brutal dictator Museveni to stop the illegal detention of Ugandans because they are against his 40-year rule. We are calling on the brutal dictator Museveni to set free all the political prisoners in Uganda. I can look at my brother Bobiwine. Bobiwine has been in prison for more than 8 months just for wearing a red beret. Just for wearing a red beret, representing change in the new Uganda. And for that reason, he's still in prison. It's for that reason he's being tortured in prison. It's for that the man is still dying in prison. We don't know whether he has been poisoned because it's a war punishment by the brutal dictator of Uganda. But as we stand here, we send our prayers that Bobiwine, very soon, you'll be a free man in a free Uganda. People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere. We are standing here today with the same words: accountability, democracy, set free all the political prisoners, and we want Museveni to leave Uganda for Ugandans. Museveni must go. Museveni must go. Museveni must go. We need accountability because Museveni has been receiving money from the UK every year, 1 billion. Out of that 1 billion, 6 million is meant to be going for LGBT community in Uganda. But there is no accountability of that money. We need to know who has eaten that money, who signed for that money from Bank of Uganda, and who is leading that team in Uganda on that case. We need accountability, where they use that money, where that money has gone to. If it's in State House, we need to know who in State House has been in charge of this money. If it's the State House, we need the name and the official who has been handling the £6 million for the LGBT community. Because as long as we know the LGBT community, they are suffering in Uganda. They don't have what I'll call their usual stuff they use. They don't have those facilities. But that money is being paid to Uganda every year. 6 million. We don't know where that money is going. We are calling on the UK government to stop the funding of the brutal regime in Uganda. We are calling on the UK government to stop the training of militias from Uganda. Because by training these so-called militias from Uganda, you are conniving, you are supporting, and you are committing the rape, the murder, the kidnapping, and the sodomization of Ugandans. Because of your taxpayers' money and my taxpayers' money being sent to Uganda, a £1 billion every year with no accountability, this money is going to the drain. We want the UK government to stop completely the funding of this brutal dictator. People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere. We don't want no more taxpayers' money to be sent to Uganda with no accountability. Museveni is the richest brutal dictator in Africa at a price of £13.5 billion rich. While Ugandans in Uganda, they cannot afford a £1 paracetamol. While Ugandans in Uganda, children can't go to school. We don't have no working hospitals. But for the last 40 years, Britain has pumped 40 billion to Uganda. The only thing we can think of in Uganda, he has built prisons. He has built death torture chambers where men are being sodomized, where women are being raped, where men and women are being murdered. That is Uganda of Museveni. People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere.
What you see here are the Ugandan community living abroad, and we belong to National Unity Platform. We are Ugandans living abroad, and we love Uganda just like anybody loves this country. It's our birthright. We have had a dictator in Uganda for 40 years, and he has been selected, not my word, he has been selected 7 times. So he's ruled Uganda 40 years. It's not an election in Uganda.
A selection.
A selection.
Yes.
Not my words. The UK has changed 13 prime ministers. We still have one leader, one ruler. That is the junta in Uganda. He's won selection in comma 7 times. He's looking for another 7th term. That is the junta in Uganda. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Kunga Uganda.
Kunga.
Kunga Uganda.
Kunga.
Now, to put you in a good aspect of things, Uganda in the 40 years has had no new hospitals. It has something similar to a health unit, and he has built 2, which he thinks he's contributed. But that's after USA and other international organizations had an intervention. What we have in Uganda is so horrible. We don't have medical care. We don't have schools. The roads have potholes. I prefer to call them death traps. You could bury somebody in the potholes in Uganda. Uganda has just done a census at a cost of nearly $200 million. That is too exaggerated. Corruption is the password in Uganda. The junta's password is corruption. He's had scandal after scandal of money. That money he gives back here. that money that comes like aid, grant, loans, doesn't benefit the Ugandans. It benefits these people you see behind me, seated in the embassy here. We call it the crime scene. Our best, your best intervention is stop funding Uganda. We can take on the junta. You stop the money, stop training his army, stop giving them the guns that kill us, stop giving them the boots they used to kill us. In the last 5 years,
Yes, man.
he's killed more people than anybody. So that there is a Bujingo here. Bujingo has come. So what happened? That's why we say Ugandans are not to fake like that one. They come as preachers. We have fake Bishop Sentamu in the parliament here. You think he's a honorable. He's a dishonorable guy. He lies in bed with the junta. Sentamu, the bishop, the honorable, the sir, the Lord Sentamu, is one of the highest, one of the best swindlers. He's a Ugandan, and he sits in the House of Lords. He's behind the swindling of money. Sentamu, like the man who has just passed here, he disguises as if he's a religious person. He does similar things like the gentleman who has passed here. In the Lord we trust, but in the wallet we trust. That's the Lord Satan.
Yeah.
He's stolen a lot of money.
Yeah.
That puppet has stolen a lot of money. The
Yeah.
syndicate of the two have connived, stolen a lot of money. And it's them, the two, who have channeled money through the back track here. The embassy you see here is responsible for ruining the Uganda economy. They swindle money. The lady, the commoners, the dishonorable woman in the embassy here, she's behind a lot of racketeering. Everything goes through her. They conduct that. The money is conduited through them. And it comes back here. So, Britain, stop funding Uganda. That money could be best used here. It could improve the roads, it could improve the hospitals. We don't need that money in Uganda. And that money goes to no good use. Because it comes back here and buys palisades. They own houses here.
Here the code. Obudde bunyogoga wano. Wano wanyogoga wali we walungi wali. Yes, yes. Omuzimu gwa Museveni anti gufubutuka eno. Omuzimu gwa Museveni gufubutukira awo.
Stop funding Bishop Sentamu the fake, the Lord. Stop funding Lord Puppet, the Asian, Indian.
How is work? Ekifaka sigamba ki? Onyuse.
For 40 years.
Anti Friday. Kimanyi era okola. Naye okolera waka. Talk completely. Okay. Wetuli bano. Wakayingirawo. Abantu bakaaba obudde obunyogovu wano. Twambadde gloves olwaleero. Ayaya. Wabisi wano. Era olaba buli muntu bw'ati. Kati mbawadde kakaadi kubanga baagambye pawundi basatu abantu bagule caayi. Kati mbawadde kaadi yange. Anti Hudu ankubidde essimu. Sijja kujja neŋŋamba kunzooke. Ojja kujjuza kammalemu owange olyoka oguzeemu. Andeetayo kembeera nsiipingako. Akazinda tukakukwasa nti olumala.
Don't pay them. Don't give them the money.
No.
They're torturing us. We are sick and tired. It's
Yeah.
the funds that keep them in power. You stop the funds, we can't take them on.
Yes.
They are depending on your money. And when your money comes to Uganda as loans, as grants, he calls you development partners. When you don't give money, he blackmails you as colonialists, as imperialists. Can't you read through this? This is a man who doesn't care about you. All he cares about you
His
is your
family.
wallet. It's your wallet. Not
Yes.
Sentamu the wallet merchant.
Yes.
Robert is the merchant. They're
Yes.
traders. They're lords.
They are
Yes.
Lord of Trade. They are still. Lord sent among the fake bishop.
Yes.
You might think he's British. He's Ugandan.
Yeah.
And he's behind most of the schemes that skim money from back Uganda to here. Lord Puppet and the others. The junta in Uganda is 13 billion rich, and you're still giving him the grants, the aid, the donations. Stop this coming. You can't have one leader in 40 years. The people you see here have never seen any other leader except one man who has ruled Uganda for 40 years with an iron hand. We don't want the taxpayers' money from Uganda. It would better serve the people in UK. Uganda is well resourced. Then you give this money, it just goes to the junta, who is the ruler of Uganda. And that money never trickles down to the very disadvantaged, the very poor, the very people in need. It just enriches them. Uganda has a parliament of 557 member of parliaments. A very poor country like that. We could do with 65, and that's what we have. How can we have 557 who are paid over 200 million? All the MPs get medical benefits. Money is set aside for them to be treated abroad. Will the MPs ever want to build a hospital? No. Because at every corner twist, all the MPs are entitled to come to the British hospitals. Everywhere in Uganda, the dictator and his family come for medical asylum, medical tourism.
Okay.
His children are on addition, they are so they don't care about Uganda.
Yes.
So why do you care to give
wakayingira tutobye fe tutobye mwana
another point?
Tutobye. Yeah. Hey.
Open prison after
Tutobye.
North Korea. People don't say anything on tweet. They don't oppose him. You oppose the junta in Uganda, you are in big trouble. You will meet instant death. You will disappear forever, or you'll be in prison forever. And that's the Uganda. And you keep funding him because the money you've given him has built 6 new prisons, or furnished with 6 new prisons. Yet still the prisons are overcrowded. He doesn't care. He's never built hospitals. Even simple things like gloves are not in hospital. And you still fund this dictator. You still give him money. You still talk to him. You should stop the funding. Now he's preparing for the next election. With you people will come on BBC at elections. But that's a selection. But this time, stand one, Museveni. You've extended the age limit, term limit. You are not extending the death limit. It is time the death limit is closing in. I saw you last week in Tanzania. I was happy. I'm sure death is coming. No more extension.
No.
Yeah. Thank you for listening.
People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere. I need to take this opportunity to thank all those beautiful, gorgeous couples on your Valentine's Day. But we as Ugandans, we on the front line here, fighting for our rights, fighting for our freedom. We are talking about simple things, human rights. In Uganda, it's history to talk about human rights in Uganda. To stand as we are standing in this beautiful weather in Uganda is a crime. As we are standing here today, we have a simple word from the UK government. Stop sending our money to Uganda. Stop sending our taxpayers' money to Uganda with no accountability. You're sending our money. That money, the £1 billion you are sending to Uganda, is supposed to help our policemen
and to get our homeless people from the streets of London than sending the money to Uganda. You are conniving with the brutal dictator. Send your taxpayers' money to Uganda. You are involved in the raping of Ugandans. You are involved in the kidnapping of Ugandans. You are involved in the murdering of Ugandans. In Uganda, the money you send with no accountability is being recycled in building prisons and death torture chambers where men and women are being raped, where men and women are being murdered, where children are being sodomized. This is the Uganda of today, under the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda. You're talking about the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda, who has been in power for over 40 years. You cannot call that democracy. In the UK, we've changed 13 prime ministers. In America, 11 presidents. In Uganda, we still live under the same brutal dictator. People power. Our power. That's why we are here today, in this beautiful weather, to represent 47 million suffering Ugandans. That change is overdue in Uganda. We need democracy in Uganda. We need a government which will respect human rights in Uganda. But we cannot have this under this brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda. Museveni of Uganda, he has killed over 2 million Ugandans. The same brutal dictator of Uganda, he has killed over 3 million Sudanese. The same brutal dictator of Uganda, he has killed 1.5 Rwandese. Right now, Museveni is in DRC Congo. M23 is Museveni. Kagame and Museveni equals to M23. Right now, Museveni is arming the rebel in DRC Congo with the support of the UK. Why do I say that? The UK is sending £1 billion every year to the brutal dictator of Uganda. Now the brutal dictator is recycling that money into buying arms and invading Congo as we speak. DRC Congo is on fire because of the help of the UK. That's why we are calling on the UK to stop financing the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda. He's in DRC Congo because of its mineral resources. We see gold in the UK and around the world. In Europe, there is no country in Europe where they have gold and diamond. These minerals are coming from DRC Congo. And it's Museveni, the businessman, who is robbing all these minerals and selling them to Europe and the UK. That's why we are here, to highlight that by funding Museveni, you are funding our rape, you are funding our murder, you are funding our kidnapping, you are funding our rape in Uganda. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. Imagine 42 billion which has been sent to Uganda in the last 42 years. But we don't have a working hospital. We don't have no schools in Uganda. Ugandans cannot afford a £1 paracetamol. Ugandans, as we stand here, are being tortured to death. Men are being sodomized. Women are being raped as we are here, as we talk. This is the Uganda of today, under the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda. That's why we are calling on the world to come out and condemn the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda. Enough is enough. Museveni must go. The UK should stop funding Museveni. Your taxpayers' money is involved in the torturing of Ugandans. Is involved in the torturing of Ugandans in Uganda. That money should go to the good causes here. Let that money build houses here. Let that money go to the policemen here. Let that money go to construct good roads here. Because for the last 42 years, 42 billion in Uganda has nothing on the ground. You can't see nothing in Uganda. Uganda is poor like before under this brutal regime. People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere. We are standing at a crime scene. They've just closed the shutters down because they don't want to hear the truth. They know what they are doing. This is a crime scene, in other words. In other words, it's a representative of murder in Uganda. It's a representative of torture in Uganda. It stands for rape in Uganda. It stands for murder in Uganda. This is the building where we are standing today. But today, being a Valentine's Day, Ugandans are not here for that today. We want to wish you who are enjoying the day today. But for Ugandans, and let me say these youngsters here, you are lucky that you go to school. There is a country called Uganda in Africa, and it's in the corner of East Africa. Children like you don't go to school. And if you are lucky to go to school, you study underneath the tree. And when it rains, you know in Africa it rains every day. Then you run away from the tree, but nowhere to hide. In Uganda, children like you are being forced to join the army and fight for the brutal dictator. Children like you, when you see a policeman in Uganda, you run for your life. Because policemen in Uganda are criminals. These are criminals. They are not like us here in the UK and Europe, whereby a policeman is there to protect the people and their property. Have a blessed time in the UK. And remember about Uganda, that is being ruled by brutal dictator. People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere. Waliwo kitutawugedde twongeremu tubyogedde byonna oba ekyabulayo. Okay, kankuwa akazindaalo okoonemu mwana. Yeah. Yes. Our power. People power. NUP.
Hey, we back.
Yes.
Suddenly, you might hear us. By force, by fire.
Yes.
We tired of you. We tired of Museveni.
Yes.
We've been suffocating by Museveni. We can't
Yeah.
sleep because of Museveni. Our people back home are suffering under Museveni. No peace in Uganda. No democracy in Uganda.
No.
Where is the leader?
Gabagaddewo olwaleero. Sometimes four.
Museveni must go back to Rwanda.
Yes.
Museveni is working with Kagame.
Yes.
Why can't he go back to Rwanda? Museveni is asylum seeker in Uganda. So let him go and join his brother Kagame in Rwanda.
Yes.
Because all the money that you send Museveni,
Yes.
he's sending it to Rwanda.
Yes.
Museveni and Kagame are one.
Yes.
They're the one making Uganda or Africa to suffer.
Yes.
Why is Museveni taking all the money to Rwanda? That means Museveni with Kagame are brothers, and
Yes.
they know what exactly they are doing.
Yes.
They should be giving us the accountability
Yes.
of every single penny you're
Yes.
sending to Uganda. Museveni, they should be able to give us the accountability.
Yes.
What they are using this money for. Museveni must go back to Rwanda because he's not Ugandan.
No.
Yes.
He's a refuge.
Yes.
Yes.
Museveni is a refuge in Uganda.
Yes.
He should go back to Rwanda and join Kagame.
Yes.
Kagame, no matter what Kagame says that he doesn't know M23, but Kagame and Museveni, they are M23.
Yes. Awo.
Kagame and Museveni, they are M23.
Yeah.
Kagame is just fooling UK.
Yes.
Kagame is fooling USA.
Yes.
That he doesn't know nothing. That M23 is coming from Uganda.
No.
He's lying.
Yes.
Kagame knows exactly what is about
And the UK knows.
M23.
Yes.
Museveni must go and leave Uganda in peace.
Yes.
Museveni must go back to Rwanda.
Yes.
He has never been a Ugandan.
Yes.
He should tell us where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Why is he pressing Ugandans?
Yes. Why?
Why is Museveni pressing Ugandans?
Why?
Let him go back to Rwanda where he takes all the money he's collecting from UK.
Yes.
Why can't he go where he's sending all the money to?
Why?
We're tired of Rwandese.
Yes.
They should go back to their country.
Yes.
We're tired of them.
Tired.
People shedding blood.
Yes.
People being killed.
Yes.
People's children are being killed under poison, under gas, under whatever, in the name of UK.
Yes.
Because of the funding.
Yes.
They are killing people's children every single day
Yes.
because of the funding.
Yes.
Where is the accountability that this money you're sending to Museveni, where is it going? What does it do? We don't have appropriate hospitals. We don't have any medicine in Uganda. We don't have proper schools.
No.
Where is all the money you're sending to Uganda? Where is it going?
To Rwanda.
Why did they send it? Why?
We're happy for Trump, for David Trump.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
He did well.
Yes.
For asking Museveni for accountability, where he's putting all the 3 million he's sending to Uganda
Yes.
to give him the accountability.
Yes.
UK, you need to do the same.
Yes.
UK, you need to do the same.
Yes.
Like David Trump did.
Yes.
Why is Museveni not sanctioned in UK?
Why?
Museveni must be sanctioned.
Yes.
Museveni and his fellow people must
Red people power, red. Yay.
We need to go back home. We need to go back in our country when there is peace, when there is joy, when we are okay.
Yes.
Everyone just visits Uganda because you're a visitor in Uganda.
Yeah.
When you visit Uganda, you think, oh, Uganda is okay. Uganda is not okay.
No
To
way.
the citizenship people.
No.
We're not happy.
No.
They are treating you as a visitor because you're a visitor.
Yes.
But if you're the person that's coming from Uganda in there, they might even kill you from the airport or kidnap you from the airport.
Yes.
We're not safe.
No.
They can easily kidnap you as soon as you step on the airport.
Yes.
Where is the happiness? We're not safe. We're not safe. This kind of abuses has to stop.
Yes.
Underfunding.
Yes. Right.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
I for power. Yes.
Njagala kushiftinga mukati
Okay.
mu Luganda.
Yes.
Kati kamala okukoma weewaka. Kuba bwe mba soogedde lulimi lw'ewaka mbanga atayogedde. Empewo tejja kunfuuyira bwereere. Abantu b'e Kampala musizza nnyo byonna temuli. Tuzze okuyimirira oba bakiikirira. Kubanga ffeno gye tuli tulina eddembe ery'okweyogerera. Naye tubakiikirira olw'obulumi bwe tuyitamu ffenna. Newankubadde tuli mu nsi zino ezituwa liberty okwogera. Naye ffenna kyemuyitamu naffe kye tuyitamu. Ku ttaka lye muliko bulumi bwereere kubanga tetulina ssanyu lye tulina. Museveni tumukooye okutunyigiriza. Tukooye Museveni okutunyigiriza. Ebyo bye bajja ne babatiisatiisa ne bakola batya bannange muzuukuke. Muzuukuke era paka tuyimirire wano mu mpewo mujja kulowooza olw'okuba muli ku ground.
Okikoze oti.
No, naffe tuyimiridde tuli ku ground. And at the end of the day, we can't come back home. That means we sacrificing. Ne tugeza tulinnya ku airport bwetu tebatuyoolerawo. Kiki kye mutalaba oba kiki kye mutamanya abantu beeka muzuuke. Buli omu akole ky'asobola. Tuleka emirimu gyaffe, tuleka abaana baffe tujje tuyimirire wamu nammwe. Naye muyimuke, buli omu akole ky'asobola. Bwe bayinza okwekalakaasa mugende. Ebyo bye mutya mbu bannange bajja tukuba amasasi, bannange tiya gaasi. Muyimirire. Bwe mutayimirire tali agenda kitukolera. Tulina okuvaamu akatengo. Pulezidenti yatugamba dda mulina akatengo katulina okuvaamu. Bannayuganda bannange musituke. Mulabye ensi ezitwetoolodde bayimuse abaana babakubye abaana bakubiddwa bakudde. Naye they are still standing. They are fighting for freedom.
Yes.
How are you going to get the freedom when you're not standing, when you're not coming out? You're supposed to come out. When you don't speak, no one will know what you want. As we standing here in the cold, I know it's Valentine's Day, we're supposed to be home, carrying groceries, having maybe a glass of champagne or a cup of tea with your loved one, but we couldn't. Because we're suffering. There is no peace in Uganda. Under dictator Museveni. Museveni is a manipulator.
Nga tutuna nungi. Do you feel the cold oba towulira bwo? Nga tugezezzaako engato zonna tetunaba kufuna the real yes ate ziri endala zibeera nga
entebe siri Museveni, Muwonge talina jajja. Museveni Muwonge twamugaana era tetuli mu acceptinga. Bw'oba oyagala afuga agenda afuga e Rwanda. Muwonge mutwala afuga e Rwanda naye tajja kufuga mu Uganda. Mu Uganda entebe ya Uganda si ya kusikirwa. Omulaba ng'agenda kugwa. We're standing here. Museveni, you're not leading Uganda in a good way. How come we can accept your son? How is he going to lead us? They always say like a father, like a son. And we're going to see Muwonge is very bitter than his dad, Museveni. If we dare, even just a day, and they say that Muwonge take over Uganda, he's gonna be the worst than his dad Museveni. He will kill everyone. Muwonge is a murderer, he's a killer, they're just manipulators. They are lying to UK, they are lying to USA. We're tired. We cannot be having only one president for 40 years. All the countries are electing, they are changing presidents. But why is Uganda not changing the president? Why is Uganda not changing the president?